The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, have clarified whether or not investigators could contact a claimant's neighbors if an allegation of benefit fraud has been made against them. The Freedom of Information (FOI) request also asked about neighbors recording video surveillance as part of a benefits investigation. The DWP pays state pension and welfare benefits to around 22.7 million people across Great Britain. New figures published in the 2024 Fraud and Error in the Benefit System report show that the total number of benefit overpayments over the last year was £9.7 billion, 3.7%, an increase on the £8.3 billion figure for 2023. The most common form of benefit fraud is when a person receives unemployment benefits while working. Another is when claimants state that they live alone, but are financially supported by a partner or spouse, failing to inform the DWP about a change of circumstances, for example, that your partner is now living with you, or that you have moved house, or that a relative has died leaving you some money may also be seen as fraud by omission. While DWP investigators have many powers, the FOI release explains that whether or not they contact a neighbor of a suspect depends on the circumstances of each case. But it goes on to add, during a DWP investigation we would not routinely seek information from a neighbor. There may be exceptional circumstances where they may provide a witness statement, as investigators are required by law to pursue all reasonable lines of inquiry whether these point towards or away from a suspect. The DWP added that the aim of a criminal investigation is to gather evidence which will help to prove or disprove that a criminal investigation has been committed against the state and/or local authority to identify who committed the offense. With regards to whether a neighbor would be asked to conduct a video surveillance on a suspect, DWP said this would not happen. It explained, DWP carry out their own surveillance following strict guidelines laid down within the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act 2000. DWP Fraud and Error Review 2024-25. During the current financial year, the DWP will measure a sample of claims from 6 specific benefits as part of its fraud and error exercise for 2024. The DWP will be measuring the following benefits for fraud and error: Universal Credit Housing Benefit, Pension Age, Passported Cases, Pension Credit, State Pension, Personal Independence Payment, PIP, Carer's Allowance. Common examples of benefit fraud: faking an illness or injury to get unemployment or disability benefits, failing to report income from a business or employment to make income seem lower than it actually is, living with someone who contributes to the household income without declaring that income to the authorities, falsifying accounts to make it seem like a person has less money than they say they do in each circumstance. The DWP will need evidence that shows that someone is receiving a benefit, a tax credits or benefits payment, for example, that they would not ordinarily be entitled to. Fraud investigators have a wide range of powers which enable them to gather evidence in a number of ways, including surveillance, interviews, and document tracing. Under the new proposals, these powers will widen to include executing warrants, search and seizure of evidence, and even making arrests. Unfortunately, you won't know the exact details of an investigation against you until you are told about it afterwards, which may be in court if you are charged with an offense. There is a common misconception that the only people who get investigated for benefits fraud and other offenses that involve the DWP are those who are openly scamming the system. While the DWP does act on reports from the public, it also has its own sophisticated means of detecting when fraudulent activity might be taking place, which means anyone receiving benefits from the DWP could be investigated at any time. What happens during a DWP investigation? If the DWP is going to start a formal investigation against you, they will notify you either in writing, by telephone, or email. This is typically done through the post. When you are notified, you will also be told whether you are to receive a visit from a fraud investigation officer, FIO, or whether they require you to attend an interview. In the early stages of an investigation, you may not be told that one is underway until the DWP has assessed whether there is good reason to formally investigate a potential case of fraud. Many tip-offs and reports turn out to be false, so the DWP wants to make sure that they do not waste their time on a pointless investigation. As soon as there is enough evidence of potential fraud, the DWP will launch an official investigation and notify you. DWP investigators are allowed to gather many types of evidence against a potentially fraudulent claimant. Most common types of evidence: inspector reports from surveillance activities, photographs or videos, audio recordings, correspondence, financial data, including bank statements, interviews with you or people you know, any evidence submitted by those who reported you. One common form of benefit fraud is falsely reporting income, or failure to report it altogether. If you are claiming unemployment benefits but are seen to attend a workplace, the DWP may talk to the owner or manager of that business to find out exactly why you are there, what work you are doing and how much you are being paid. Investigators may also check your social media accounts and search your online profiles for pictures, location check-ins, and other evidence which may or may not be useful to them. Those who use social media a lot will leave a trail of their life and habits, often allowing investigators to piece together a picture of what that person's life actually looks like. If this is not consistent with the details of that person's claim for benefits, that evidence may end up being used against them. Get the latest record money news. Join the conversation on our Money Saving Scotland Facebook group for energy and money saving tips, the latest benefits news, consumer help and advice on coping with the cost of living crisis. Sign up to our Record Money newsletter and get the top stories sent to your inbox daily from Monday to Friday, including a special cost of living edition on a Thursday. Sign up here. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at @recordmoney_ for regular updates throughout the day. New: get our money news alerts on your phone by joining our daily Record Money WhatsApp community. What if I am falsely reported to the DWP? False reports of benefit fraud are common in the UK, with some studies indicating there are around 140,000 made each year. Until the DWP determines that there is no case against you, there is little you can do. Cooperate as best as you can and remember that those found to have reported falsely through malicious reasons may end up being prosecuted. If you are concerned about a current or future DWP investigation against you or someone you care about, seeking advice from a legal expert could help. Citizens Advice Scotland may also be able to offer free and impartial advice. You can contact them here. You can report fraud by calling mygov.scot free on 0800 158 2071 or by post here. Join our daily Record Money WhatsApp community here to receive alerts on the latest money news, from benefits to shopping deals.